The devil has his foot on your neck, and God needs to expose this right now in your life so that you're aware of it. I really feel led to share this and minister this to you, and I'm praying this is reaching the right person and the person that needs it. My whole life, men have come into my life to try and control me and to try and tie me down in a sense. Not in God's will, obviously. And God is saying today, women of God, if the devil can get you to settle for something that's just good enough and not God's best, the devil's done his job, okay? And this is so important as women of God. Who we submit to is so important. If the man of God is not submitted to God completely, wholly, and fully, and he's not willing to give up everything for Jesus when God tells him to, but you are, God is not going to turn you over to that man. Like, we all have free will, but God is saying today, it is important as women of God, we are discerning of the spirit that they're operating in and discerning of how they are going to lead us. If they're going to lead us astray, do not allow that man into our life to do that. Like God is saying right now, there are so many women of God that have been led out of their purpose in Christ because they've settled for the bare minimum, that they settled for just good enough in a relationship. And so now they're confined to this one area because of who they've submitted to for the rest of their life in marriage. And this is such a crazy topic, but like God is saying today, if the devil can get you to settle for mediocrity in men, he's called you out, like the devil has taken you out of your purpose. Because if you're not a solid woman in Christ doing her own mission, you're going to be swayed by the wind, right? There's so many women of, and having a marriage is beautiful, but like there's so many women of God that idolize that and look at submission as like laziness, like, oh yes, I get to submit to him so I don't have to do as much. And God is convicting you lovingly and showing you, hey, like you have a tendency in this area to idolize this. That's why I'm not giving it to you. That's why everything else in your life, you're like, I understand this, I understand that, but you don't understand this. God is saying today, if you're not full and complete on your own and your own purpose, you're going to be led by your emotions and led astray about all these other things that are not from God. And so God is saying today, you're like, also think about this too. Sorry, this is all over the place. Also think about this too. If you're not ready to have kids, if you're not ready to be selfless, are you really ready for a marriage? Like, I was just talking with a friend today about Song of Songs, how it's like, do not awaken love if it's not time or something, because then you can't go back. That's what it is. God is saying right now, if you awaken love and you're not ready for it, there's no going back. And I don't know why I feel led to say this, but for women's boobs, in Song of Songs, right, it talks about the maturing process of a woman. And God is saying right now, you are not ready for marriage. Simply put, if you're not married, you're not ready for marriage, because otherwise you would have it. And so God is saying today, you are not yet a woman of God that I've called you to be. And there's so many women of God that think that they're women of God that are just settling for a marriage because that's what they want. And they want to control things on their timeline and do things this way. And it's like, okay, well, what if we just gave our desires to God? And why don't we want to see what God's best is for our life and trust that? Because a lot of us are impatient. We don't want to wait, right? But we need to trust that God's ways are higher than our ways and God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. This is just something to ponder. But if this really spoke to you today, like this video, follow for more, save it for later, send this to a friend that you know needs this today. If you have a hard time hearing God's voice, you feel like God spoke through you in this today, I created an ebook called When God Speaks, $15. The link is in my bio. Pray and ask God if it's for you. But God is seeking you through this video, and he needed to expose that for you, because the devil loves to keep his foot on our necks in this way as women of God, because we are emotional, because we do want connection, right? Don't let the devil manipulate things.